Welcome, enjoyers of storytime, to my take on what we've all seen so far of Fable. Whilst I've been working on other series on my channel right now, I have been listening in the background to other people's opinions of what they've seen of Fable. I actually haven't seen any of the gameplay yet, though I still think that no one has really gone into as much detail on the gameplay as I'd like, and what the mechanics are and how well it plays. So I'm going to react to it for the first time fully today, and I'm going to try and mention at least a few things that no one else has mentioned, and obviously give my take on the hot topics. Now, if you're new here, I only do reaction videos to the trailers of games that I'm planning to do a unique series on in the future. So if you want a unique series on Fable, then be sure to get this video to 25 likes, and I'll make sure to move it up the list of games that I plan to play.
Fable is Playground's first open-world action RPG, and we couldn't be more proud to be carrying on the work of the legendary Lionhead Studios, the original creators of the franchise. And although our game is a new beginning, I think what we're making is really faithful to the spirit of the classic Lionhead trilogy that we all love.
We all know it's made by Playground Games, who famously made the Forza driving games, and that might put you off playing the game, but what you don't know is that they actually hired a completely new team of people who specialise in RPG games, so I can believe wholeheartedly that it won't be a janky game to play. It'll be quite easy to play, but it doesn't mean that this is going to be one of the great RPGs, because it's a completely new team of new people that are working together on a huge project. So all we can really do is wait and see if Playground Games were the right people for this game to fall to. We also know it's going to be only single player, which works well for me in this channel, so there'll be no multiplayer element like there was in Fable 2 and Fable 3. And we know the whole game will be played in third person without the ability to switch into first person.
What does it mean to you to be a hero? Our game is about choices and their consequences. It's packed with action, drama, British humour, moral dilemmas, and quite a few chickens. All of this combines in a fairy tale which could only be Fable.
In classic Fable fashion, you begin the game as a child, growing up in the sleepy rural village of Briar Hill. It's here that in a moment of extreme danger, your heroic powers first emerge, and we discover that you are Albion's first hero in a generation. But not long afterwards, disaster strikes, and the people of your village, including your beloved grandma, are turned to stone by a mysterious stranger.
I wonder what the realization factor is to have everyone realize that you're a hero. Is it because you can cast spells or something? Or what makes everyone think that you're a hero as a child, or that you'll be a future hero?
This is Albion like you've never seen it before. Idyllic rolling hills, magical forests, bustling villages, sleepy hamlets, oversized vegetable patches, and stunning vistas.
Wow, see now, look at that. If you've played any of the Forza Horizon games, then you might agree with me that the landscape feels quite Forza-esque with the landscape style and the colour palette, just with a huge lack of main roads. It does look incredible though, you have to give them their flowers for that.
Albion's iconic capital city, Bowerstone. Home to Fairfax Castle, the old clock tower, and the legendary Heroes Guild.
It's a huge city, full of contrasts, rich and poor, nobles and commoners, royalty and criminals. You'll spend plenty of time here during the game as you discover the secrets of the Heroes Guild and its reclusive guildmaster, Humphrey the Golden.
Our Albion is beautiful, handcrafted, and richly detailed.
Honestly, I can't really detect it, but I know a lot of people can see the frame rate drop here. In the months leading up to the game, they'll be spending an ungodly amount of time increasing the performance and just patching any bugs. So I believe there will be very little issues with frame rate for the general playthrough of the game, although there will be areas that they will have missed and people will pick up on that and report it, but that's what updates are for.
In Albion, heroes are special, different. They're stronger than regular people, they're more skillful, more charismatic. More importantly, they're those rare humans who can harness and use magic in the world around them. They have the power to do what they want.
And so do you. In our game, we want you to play as the hero you want to be. And that starts with being able to choose how your hero character looks.
So, in Fable, you'll be able to pick from a range of different character heads and customize your clothing, hair, skin tone, tattoos, and scars, so the hero you play represents you.
Okay, so they're making it out like character creation is something that they've designed and are really excited for. But we all know it's because their original main character design, the hero we were all meant to have to play as, was just not pleasing to look at or play with. So they were eventually pressured by the community into making a character creator.
You can be the hero you want to be through the way you play, through the skills and abilities you learn, and through the weapons you use.
Just like the classic trilogy, heroes in our game fight with a combination of strength, skill, and will. Seamlessly blending melee and ranged weapons with magical abilities gives us style-weaving combat.
Okay, there's quite a bit to analyse in that first bit of combat that I don't think anyone else I've heard has mentioned.
So let's just stop and analyse what's just happened there.
Firstly, I would say this gameplay is on a hard difficulty, seeing how long it takes to bring down this enemy's shield alone. The animations with the rapiers are okay, as we'll be spamming inputs anyway. So a lot of animations are going to have to chain together very quickly, so a limited use of animations is okay, as long as we have a wide variety of weapons and spells to choose from. I also noticed he turned both of these guys into a chicken with only one use of the spell, and the spell is triggered holding an action button, so the right trigger in this case, and the button you set the spell to, which would be A in the trailer. And it doesn't spend one of the ability points that are just above the health bar, which means we're able to use spells in this extremely freely. And we potentially have an even more powerful ability or a rapid healing ability to get out of tricky situations, which is very good in my opinion, especially if you're going to be playing on a harder difficulty like I will. I also see that I think anyone is a one hit while they're a chicken, but they're not a chicken for very long. And once a short amount of time has passed, they turn back into a human, and it seems we even have a larger grace period once they turn back into a human. However, that might only happen if they've been kicked as a chicken.
Allowing you to show off your personal playstyle.
Okay there, that Warhammer animation was taken straight out of Dragon Age the Veilguard, but we'll skip past that. I did also notice in this clip that it's clearly later on in the game since they have a much longer health bar and 2 more ability points or health points above it.
Against single opponents and large groups of enemies alike.
That clip was really good. I think the first kill and animation is excellent, just as long as we get actual blood textures so we can see the consequences of the deadly move we just made. Obviously they'll remove the blood textures for the trailer, but maybe we'll get some in the game, or at least I hope we do. And honestly, the fire animation is great. I don't really see any improvements needed with that. The colour on it is just great.
Melee is at the heart of our close quarters combat. You'll use light and heavy combos, often knocking enemies off balance and executing stylish finishers.
Okay, in that fight with the bigger guy, I can immediately see a stagger bar under his health, confirming another mechanic in the game where we can damage bigger enemies very heavily if we attack them in a certain way, like targeting their weaknesses. Similar to what was done with the cave trolls in Hogwarts Legacy.
Swap to your ranged weapon to bypass enemy guard and deal with troublesome flying enemies.
Alright, that flying enemy is pointless. Why would it show its weakness to you so blatantly like that? Ah yes, if they hit the inside of this cage, I am staggered very badly, so let me just open the door to it and face them without moving whatsoever. If it has to open the gate to start poisoning you, then fine, but just fucking turn around. Or, you know, just move the gate. Or at least just don't open the gate while a man with a fully drawn bow is pointing right at you. I know that's a bit of a rant for one guy, but come on, that enemy is stupid.
Of course, you'll be able to unleash your powerful spells to both manipulate and devastate your opponents.
Okay, that lightning spell was awesome. I also noticed the recharge time on that spell was just really fast, which probably means doing more damage to enemies with a spell reduces its cooldown time. And also, it didn't use one of the ability points above the health bar either.
We're excited to be bringing back some fan-favorite adversaries for you to fight.
Okay, I just noticed while they were talking to the camera, all the computers around the room working on different things. I think most of them are just working on world design, but you have that one there that's working on whatever the f that is.
Hobbs are back.
In that scene there, what I did notice was some nice fluid animations between the hobs and a heavy attack indicator letting you know whether you need to block or dodge out the way. And the hobs seem pretty easy to kill, so they'll be pretty fun to deal with.
As are Balverines, Hollowfolk, and Trolls.
Okay, that scene with the knight-looking dude is great. First you see the armor works properly and deflects all the bolts, as it should, telling you that you have to find a weakness of this enemy. The lunge from this enemy is really smooth and fluid looking too. and then meleeing them while they're lunging at you seems to stagger these guys backwards, but only for a moment, because you can see he gets back to full focus pretty quickly. Before he gets back to full focus though, you can see that they show you now that the legs are its weakness, which is good to know this early so I can avoid being lunged at surprisingly by one of them on my first playthrough.
And we're adding brand new enemies too, like this fearsome cockatrice, a giant fire-breathing chicken. Each enemy family is different, with their own weaknesses to exploit and defenses to overcome. But with all the unique tools in your combat toolbox, how you defeat your enemies is up to you.
Okay, that scene with the chicken was great, and it revealed even more mechanics to the game. The first mechanic of two I noticed is unblockable attacks, meaning you'll have to dodge them because if you try and block, it'll knock you over or take a significant portion of your health down. And the second mechanic being that well-timed blocks seem to drain the stagger meter on larger enemies quite a bit, which just gives us another faster way to execute our enemies. So they did put it pretty well when they said how you defeat them is up to you, and I really liked that move with the daggers. Now, we're on to the other huge selling point of Fable. It's society and its economy. You can buy huge houses such as this one and live in it with a family essentially of your own choosing. Then, after you have the house, if you want to live somewhere else, you can, and then you can either sell the house or rent it out to whoever can afford it. Yeah, so not just that house, all of them.
Buying every business in Albion, getting rich.
Marrying a bunch more people, having a bunch more kids, probably getting divorced along the way for good measure.
Yeah, I imagine if you want to marry more than one person and have kids to more than one person, some people might allow it, but let's be honest, a divorce is inevitable down the road.
The living population. There are more than 1,000 of them, and every single one is unique. Each of them has a name, a role, a daily routine, and their own personality.
So there is the feminine walk. Apparently a lot of people don't see it, but just look at the way the hands move and the way the hip twists. It just doesn't look right for the character. I'm sure it'll be fixed by launch. Hell, it's probably already been done. Something else I did notice though is the notices in front of each building, so you can manage each building and your portfolio of properties.
Maybe the job they go to is working for you because you hired them to work in one of your businesses.
Hey you, working hard? How can I help you, boss?
Maybe the bed they sleep in is in a house you own because you're the landlord.
Or maybe their bed is on the street because you evicted them.
Yeah, the fact you can employ them, kick them out, and shape their life around each and every single one of them is astounding to me, to be honest. My only hope is that it just plays well and makes you feel like you are really in control, because that's the whole vibe they're going for with this.
For us, morality isn't black and white. There are lots of grey areas. And importantly, morality is subjective. No two people see things exactly the same way. And that's how it works in our game too.
So I'm actually very excited about that. No way do I want morality to be black and white for each person, because that just completely takes away from this complex society that they're trying to build. So honestly, being called a rich twat is fine, as long as there are others that love you for it too, and others that don't even know who you are still. Because it makes you choose the people you want respect from, and then you base your gameplay around that.
Our game will never judge you, but the people of Albion will, loudly.
Imbecile.
Ugh, well, you're an actual seal.
Early in the game, you'll meet a character named Dave, an egotistical gardener.
You mean Richard Iowadi?
He accidentally turns himself into a giant and becomes a big problem. It'll be your job to deal with him, and ultimately it will be your choice whether to kill him or to spare him. If you kill him, his giant corpse will lie on the farmland just outside of town for the rest of the game.
Look, I know most people are probably going to kill him, but I want to see him wandering around somewhere again in the future. I want to see him accidentally step on another civilization or something. But it's cool though if you kill him, and I imagine his body will decompose and become part of the environment over time.
In Fable, the choices you make will define you. What does being a hero mean to you?
Well, to me, it just means having fun. And that is it for my in-depth look of what we've seen of Fable so far. And hopefully, I noticed something in the trailer that makes you excited to watch a series on it, or play it yourself. If you do want a series on it in my own unique style, then be sure to like the video. And also, if you haven't seen me before, and you want to check out a series of mine and see what makes it unique, then check out my Oblivion playlist next to me. And remember, always have fun.